video, what we're going to talk about here is what a lot of people are asking, which is, okay, I've decided to give this a try. I want to present Profit First for Lawyers as a product to my clients. I want to get it implemented in my law firm. But how does this all work? How do we actually get started? What actually happens? And of course, the first step is you sign up, right? So on this website, you click for a consultation or click to sign up for the next training, and we get you started right then and there. If we talk on the phone, we will get you started at that point. So you decide to get started. That's the main thing. You decide to get started. But a lot of people want to know what happens then. So let's talk about it. And in fact, what I've done for you is I put together a little presentation to help give you an idea. So we'll do this without any fancy transitions. There we go. We're calling this the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts, I might have called it. What really happens? So let's talk about it. So the first thing, like I said, is you sign up for a training. Now, this is not a training to turn you into a bookkeeper or an accountant or a financial expert or guru of any kind. But what it is training to get you really familiar with the Profit First methodology, how it's going to be implemented in your business, in your law firm, and in your clients' businesses as well. And it's important for you to know this at a fairly decently involved level, so that when your clients ask you questions about what's going on, which sometimes they will, you'll have a way to answer it before you have to defer the answer to us. But I want to emphasize that although we're doing training with you, we do all the heavy lifting with your firm and with your clients, with our Profit First professionals, to make sure that the bookkeeping is done right and the accounting is done right, and that they are following the program. You are involved to the level that you want to be in certain aspects of it that directly benefit your law firm business and your relationship with your clients. So again, how does this all work? Well, let's walk right through it. So once we get through the training, and I'm sorry, the caps there was supposed to say caps there, it's cut off a little bit. Once we get through the training, the first thing we do is we evaluate your firm. In fact, we might do this before the training, but as soon as you sign up, let's say, we're going to evaluate your business. And the first thing we're going to do is just look at your business historically for usually the past 12 months. We can sometimes choose a different period, and see during that 12-month period, based on your financials, what was your profit, if any? So if it was a negative profit, if you lost money, it'd be a negative profit, but what was it? What did you pay yourself as a percentage of revenues? What was your owner's comp? And that includes all the salary you paid yourself, any perks you paid yourself, and any distributions that you take on a regular basis. They're not really profit distributions. Somebody told you to take a certain amount as a distribution, and so you do, but you take it regularly. That's all owner's comp. What was that as a percentage of your revenues? What was your total tax liability, both business-wise and personally, as a result of owning and operating this business? And what was that as a percentage of your revenues? We also can calculate what marketing was as a percentage of your revenues. And then whatever's left over was what you ran the business on. So we figure out what your operating expenses were as a percentage of revenue. So we figure this all out because we need to know where we're starting before we start talking to you about where we're going. And then, of course, we do talk to you about where we're going by conducting with you a vision meeting, which I'll talk about in a minute. But so we start by understanding where you are right now. So again, we understand these numbers. And the first thing we do is put you on a program to completely change nothing about the percentages, right? We're not going to dramatically change your business on day one. What we are going to do is dramatically change the way you think about the money that flows through your business and the order of operations, the order in which you deal with it. So starting right away, we're going to take those percentages and we're going to start securing the money exactly the way it has been, except with discipline. So if you had, let's say, just for argument's sake, that you had a $500,000 gross revenues business, and your profit was 10% or $50,000. Your owner's comp was 20% or $100,000 total dollars. Your tax liability was about 6% or about $30,000 total dollars. And marketing was, let's say, 7% or $35,000. Well, the first thing we're going to do is from now on, from this day forward, that's how the business operated. And by the way, with that left over, if I remember all my numbers, was 10 and 20 And 6, that's 36, plus marketing was 7, is 43% went to those things. That meant that the business was operating on 57% last year. Of gross revenues, 57% went to the overhead of the business, all the things I didn't just mention, all the business operations or the operating expenses. Okay, so starting day one, now instead of what we have been doing, which is when, let's say, $1,000 comes in, we have $1,000 and we spend it on whatever it needs to get spent on: bills, overhead, maybe some marketing, payroll, maybe some owner's comp, and then we wait till the end of the year to measure what the profit was, right? Instead of doing that, starting now, day one, we're keeping the percentages exactly the same, except we're putting them away. So we're going to take that 10% of that was profit, we're going to put it over here in a separate account. We're going to take that 20% that was owner's comp, we're going to put it over here in a separate account. We're going to take the tax dollars and put it over here in a separate account, and the marketing dollars and put it over here in a separate account. And we're taking those off, and then the 57%, I think it was, that was left over to run the business goes to the operating account. And you can run the business on the same exact number of dollars as a percent of revenues that you've always operated the business on. Nothing changes. The only thing is, when you get $1,000 in, you no longer have $1,000 to spend on what you think it should be spent on. You only have $570 to spend on what you think it should be spent on. The other things, which is where the money was going before, are already allocated. They're already out of sight, out of mind, and can't be invaded. We're going to do this for at least a quarter. Same numbers, same percentages as you have been operating for at least the past year, but we're going to do it for at least a quarter, just so you get used to the rhythm. You get used to the discipline. You get used to how we're going to think about the money without shocking the business. Now, will this cause pain? And I can see some of you through the magic of the webinar. I can see you sweating, right? Well, what if we have a bad week? What if we have a bad month? Like, maybe we can't do those same percentages. That was for a whole year. This is about the discipline of making difficult decisions. What we find in business is that we have difficult decisions to make, always. In most businesses, we defer the difficult decision by invading what should be profit, sometimes not paying ourselves until more revenue comes in. And that difficult decision gets deferred. But what happens to deferred difficult decisions is they don't usually go away. They fester and they grow. And eventually, when you do, as a business owner, have to make a difficult decision, this little difficult decision becomes this big, ugly, painful, difficult decision down the road. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to make small, difficult decisions based on reality, based on the actual money you've got. Once we understand where you are and set up that first quarter, then we make a plan based on a conversation called a vision meeting, which I'll talk about in a minute, about where you want to be. What's the profitability you want in a year, right? What's the owner's comp as a percentage of revenue? What's the owner's comp as a percentage of revenue? What are the taxes? What are the marketing? And then what's left over as operating expenses at the end of the year as a percentage of revenue? We get this from what you actually want the business to do for you in the vision meeting, which I'll talk about in a second, but we understand that, and then we call that our target allocation percentages, or TAPs. This is our current allocations. This is our target allocations. And then we make a plan to actually move quarter by quarter towards our TAPs. Now, our TAPs might not end up being where we want to eventually be, where we decide that the business will end up at the end of the day. It might be, but that might require too big a move for 1 year. And so we'll set the TAPs up as sort of the interim. But anyway, we make a plan to get to the TAPs, the target allocations, increasing profit usually, sometimes keeping it steady, maybe increasing owner's comp, doing what we need to do with taxes, doing what we need to do with marketing, and then the rest left over for operating expenses, so that we change these percentages only once a quarter and only by small amounts, no more than once in a while, 2% per quarter per category. Little bits that the business won't necessarily miss very much, but that make a big difference in what you're taking home and make your business more profitable, and making sure that you always make your own payroll. And most of all, one of the biggest stressors is that when the tax man calls and sends you your tax bill, you say, well, I've got that because I planned for that and you write the check, and it's not painful at all. All right, so I've been talking about this vision meeting. What is it? So one of the things we do with you is we conduct a vision meeting where we really go deep with you on what the business is supposed to do for you. And in the Get Started video, I talk more in depth about that concept. But we decide what the business is really supposed to do for you. How much money is it supposed to send home? How much time are you supposed to put in the business? How much time are you working on the business? How much time are you getting back to do things that truly give you joy? And what is the business accomplishing? We spend a lot of time on this with you. We will spend hours with you talking through these notions to get an idea of where you really want the business to be based on what you want the business to do for you. And then we map that out and see if that's something that we all agree can be accomplished in 1 year, or maybe it'll take 2, or maybe it'll take 3, but we're going to get started on it right away by assigning a target allocation percentages for at least the first year. And once we have this vision meeting, which again takes quite some time, we then communicate it to your Profit First team, because again, we are modeling for you how we're going to do this for your clients. And we understand that you have a bookkeeper, you have an accountant, and you may have other other financial professionals who should be focused on your profit. And once we understand your vision meeting and what we're going to do to get there, we communicate that to your team so that everybody's on board. And we actually ask them to submit a monthly report to communicate back to us that you are on track. For you, Profit First for Lawyers is the captain of the team, the captain of your team. For your clients, that captain position is served by you and us. You with us backing you up, but making sure that their financial people are reporting monthly that they're staying on track. Then once the vision meeting is done and communicated to your Profit First team, we go to a closing meeting where we bring everybody in and say, is everybody in agreement? Are there any questions, or are we good to move forward? Once we have the closing meeting done, we're good to move forward. That day, starting that day, all the money that comes to the business goes into this income account that you can't touch. And then it is allocated out to those other accounts on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, depending on how you want to run your business. Once a month, you will send a report, or actually your bookkeeper or your accountant will send a report indicating the allocations that were made. It's a very simple report. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out. Once a month, it's sent in so that we understand and we know that you're staying on track and you're following the program and you're taking home more profit. Every quarter, we then meet with you to make sure that your goals haven't changed. Are things the same, or do you want to change how you're doing things before we implement the new allocation percentages for this next coming quarter? And what else is going on in your business? It's a GAS meeting. You can ask me what that means if you don't know. But what else is going on in your business so that we can be helpful and get you whatever help or input you need with what's going on in your business. And then, of course, I said for your clients, all these same things happen for your clients. For your clients, we conduct a vision meeting with you so that we can set up their allocation percentages and you can listen and do what you do best, which is spot issues, listen for changes in the business, listen for risks that they're coming up with, listen for opportunities that they should see so that you can recommend your services for these things as you deepen your relationship with your clients. We serve alongside with you as the captain of the team. We put together the messaging for their Profit First team, their bookkeeper, their accountant, who may be and probably should be Profit First professionals, but don't have to be. And we, along with you, conduct the closing meeting to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So exactly how we do it with you, we do it with you, with your clients. So that we start to make them more profitable as well. And your clients also submit monthly reports, and your clients also undergo the quarterly review. And then this is where it becomes really interesting, because during the vision meeting, like I already mentioned, you'll be spotting issues. These quarterly reviews, the part that we have to do with your clients, it's only about 45 minutes or so. We schedule it for about 2 hours. The rest, again, is for you to basically have a GAS meeting. And again, ask me what that means. But during that meeting, you're going to ask and find out about what's new, what's changed in the business. It's a sales meeting for you to get more business from your clients for either for you or to refer out that will help them move their business forward. Because of Profit First, you're going to have deeper insight, deeper knowledge of their business, and a deeper relationship with clients. And that is that's sort of the magic sauce here, what makes it truly valuable for you. And of course, then with your clients, we'll have an annual revision to see where they want to go next year. And this is also, of course, a renewal meeting to keep them on the Profit First program, keep earning you revenue, and keep earning your clients more profit. In fact, I should mention that when we bring your clients on board, you're earning revenue for every client that we bring on board, so that you're being compensated for the time that you spend with them in some part, but also, quite honestly, you're being compensated through those sales calls, through the quarterly meetings and the vision meetings, that you're gaining more and more business. But you've got a monthly income from each client that's on the Profit First system. And your clients know that this is for real because you are going to be able to tell them that you eat your own dog food. That's the meaning of this slide. But you're a Profit First certified lawyer. You're implementing Profit First in your business. You're becoming more profitable, just like all the other Profit First certified lawyers have been. And you're doing things exactly the way you're recommending your clients do them, which gives them a lot of faith and gives you a lot of credibility in bringing this program to them. So that's how it all works. Now, I wanted to show you a slide and just talk a little bit about if this is for you. It might not be, right? In watching this and going through this, part of this is to really identify whether this is something that will work for your firm. So again, looking at the slide that I was just showing you, it's not for you if you're plenty profitable and you don't really need to improve your profits. Because if you don't use the system to improve your profits, it's going to be much more difficult to really be credible to your clients and tell them that that's what you're going to do for them. If your firm is already providing you all the means to live your life in the manner you truly desire, in other words, it's already giving you what you need, what you want from it. And again, you're not going to be incentivized to implement this product, which then will, again, not give you the credibility with your clients. If you never have to worry about compromising your deliverables, going the extra mile for your clients because of financial concerns, if you never have to do this again might not be for you for all those same reasons. And of course, if you think that all your clients are doing great and they can't use this kind of help, then this isn't for you. So who is it for? Well, if you do want to have a more profitable business, if you want to help your clients be more profitable, if you know, as most lawyers know deep down inside of that, if you had more regular profits, you'd be better able to play all in for your clients all the time and for your employees. And for your stakeholders, your family, that allows you to invest your time and money and presence of mind in your business. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to look them in the eye with confidence and assuredness and tell them they're getting a very good return on the investments they let you make in the business, because you've defined what they're going to get and you're pulling it out of the business every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every quarter. And finally, this is for you if you want all these same things for your clients. Then Profit First is in fact for you. So that's the nitty gritty. That's how it gets going. On this Profit First Get Started page, if you're not on that, if you're watching this on YouTube or something, then go to profitfirstlawyers.com/get started, or just go to profitfirstlawyers.com and then you can navigate there. It's real easy. But make an appointment or sign up for the next training, and let's get started on a profit journey together. Thanks so much. And I look forward to helping you become a more profitable lawyer.